you think? Good. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning, October 28th, 2019, and we're headed into work and school for the day. And it's nice and cool again. It's car says 51, but the car was in the garage, so I know it's colder than that. I think it's like 42 degrees. We're not gonna have much of fall. I mean, if you guys look, there's leaves down everywhere. Didn't even get much of a color change this year. We had a really wet summer and fall and all that, so everything's really confused, but kind of sad. Fall used to be my favorite season, next to maybe winter, but we haven't really been getting much of a fall in the last 5 or more years. Leaves start to change color, then we get really bad storms and it rips all the leaves down and then they're gone. We had an awesome weekend. Give me 5. Grant was testing out his new switch holder that goes on the back of the headrest thing. It holds his Nintendo Switch, so that way he doesn't have to have it in his lap and breaking his neck trying to like stare down at it. He can look right at straight forward at the headrest, so it works well. And he used that on the car ride home. We gotta find his car charger. I don't know where that went. And but we had a good time. We got to see Grandma and Grandpa. They're coming back today to the house. And last night I worked on some computer networking stuff. I did. I cut the Comcast router and set it over. I cut it over and set it to bridge mode, so that means we're 100% on my equipment. So I got a Ubiquiti Edge router, and then I got a Edge switch 10X.
My dad got 20 trees done yesterday.
Oh yeah, I was telling Grant about that app called Forest that I have on my phone, and it's an app that it like rewards you. Yeah, rewards you for not playing on your phone. And so basically, you say like, "Hey, I want to grow a tree," and you can set it, I think, anywhere from 10 minutes to 120 minutes max. How many hours is 120 minutes? Do you know?
Wait, how many hours?
Hours. So if there's 60 minutes in 1 hour, how many hours is in 120 minutes? 2 hours, yeah. So the max time, build time you can do is 2 hours. I gotta show Grant too. I bought one in the game. I didn't spend any money, but in the game I got a tree it's just called the tree house. And when you build it, you can make a little tree house with it. Kind of cool. And yesterday I got a sunflower. So it's actually listed on the app as a bush. So bushes are the ones that you select when you build between 10 and I think 20 minutes. And then if you build more than 20 minutes, it switches over to the trees that you have. So we only have like 2 trees and I think 2 bushes. And pretty cool app though. And then so like yesterday it was like 400 and something minutes that I was building. Yeah, that I wasn't on my phone. So it was pretty cool.
Wait, 400?
Yeah, total. Yeah, I built a ton of trees and bushes and stuff yesterday. So we are headed in. Sun is finally just getting up. We got the heat going. We're gonna make it a great Monday. I love you.
Love you, Monday.
All right, so first attempt at using TFTP and flashing firmware, but this is looking promising. So I'm running a TFTP server that has a firmware for the autonomous. W7 means autonomous firmware. This is the CLI output, command prompt or console, and right now we are flashing to a Cisco AeroNet 1130. I was having issues, and then I realized I had the wrong file in here. So it should flash and turn this into an autonomous. This is the Make 10 strategy. Grant's showing me.
Make 10.
Mm-hmm.
This is 13, right?
Yes.
So 13.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd make the Make 10 strategy in there. Do you know how you use it?
Nope, that's what I want you to show me.
So like, do 10. You have the 10.
Mm-hmm.
You have the 10, and then you, so it's like this, right here.
Uh-huh.
You'd add one more, and then that'd be the Make 10 strategy, which would make this.
Oh, okay. So you took 9 plus 4 and turned it into 10 plus 3?
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me? Okay, that makes sense to me. This is called the Make 10 strategy. So using that strategy, it teaches you to add numbers faster?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. I never knew that one before. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that.
Count on 3 more.
All right, guys, what's happening? Just get out of work for the day, and I only got a minute to talk. But check this out. I was able to get an 1130 Cisco access point to work, kind of. So I mentioned it last Friday, but I was able to finally find the correct firmware for free, downloadable on through the internet, that I needed to flash this access point. So previously it was a light access point, which requires a wireless LAN controller. I changed it over by flashing the firmware to an autonomous access point. So the same model, everything else, but a different firmware, and it actually works much better now. So it's supposed to have a GUI web interface to admin it. Like basically you type in a browser the IP of the access point and you should be able to do everything through there. That wasn't quite working and loading properly. So I was able to figure out how to do everything I needed it to configure it via CLI, so the command prompt. It was kind of a bitch, but I got it up and running. I got it to broadcast the SSID. I could connect to it from my phone, and then after I got that up and running, I was able to set the time, or fix the time and date on the access point itself, as well as I also got the WPA with PSK, WPA version 2, which is like an encryption as well as like an authentication. So it basically requires a password to log in to connect to it. So, and then I was also able to set it up so that it does not broadcast the SSID actively. So it makes me happy. Now I have a server on that network that is running Plex, and I had set that server to not allow connections to and from the internet. It only allowed local connections. And sure enough, once I connected to that access point that's on that same network, opened the app on my phone, it loaded up that server as available in Plex. It's fucking awesome. So this is what I wanted to do. I have a little bit of tweaking and stuff to do. I kind of want to do maybe one more access point, but this is amazing. I want to have like maybe like 2, so it covers like everywhere I am in the basement basically. But badass setup. I don't want to say it was simple, but it wasn't too complicated. It was pretty intuitive. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now I do have one more access point that's a light that I would have to flash, and I also bought, if you remember last week, a autonomous 1130. Bought that off of eBay, so I should have a total of 3. I also have a couple other access points, but those are lights. I was never able to figure out and get the wireless LAN controller to work properly. It was never giving out IP addresses to the light access points, and it also was not the access points themselves are not registering with the LAN controller. So I'm not exactly sure what the cause of that was. It might be because it wasn't all running through a Cisco switch. It might be because there's a license issue. Cisco, with their LAN controllers like that, they require licenses. So really funky type of setup that they use for all this stuff. So I don't know what's going on, but I don't really like that. Especially just trying to learn and test everything out and all that. It just wasn't working. And this is older hardware, so I'm not going to get any support. I'm probably not going to get any licenses and all of that stuff. So I'm just like trying to figure out stuff on my own. So that's it. That's my big report for the day. I spent almost all day working on this, and I'm excited about it. I mean, obviously the second time around will be a lot faster. But I can't believe how much you can do. I mean, literally everything you can do through CLI. It's incredible. It's a lot slower and more complicated to kind of fumble your way through the CLI versus a GUI, a graphical user interface. But pretty awesome. So, and then I mentioned it before, but last night I switched over from the Comcast. I set that to bridge mode, and I'm 100% on Ubiquity or Unify Ubiquity hardware. So I got my router, I got my switch, and I got my access point. So a lot going on, and I'm just kind of slowly fumbling my way and getting through it all and sorting stuff out. So stay tuned for more.